All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about that feeling, that moment of dread so many of us have when someone asks, "So, what do you do?" We're going to unpack exactly why that anxiety pops up and give you a really powerful framework to replace it with confidence. It's called the message spine. So, does this question send a little jolt of panic through you? Yeah, you're not alone. So many brilliant people, founders, creators, suddenly freeze up, or they start rambling, or maybe even worse, they totally downplay the incredible work they do. It's a classic symptom of being, sales allergic, and it all comes from a deep misunderstanding of what selling really is. And this slide right here gets to the absolute heart of the problem. See, most of us think selling is a performance. We feel this pressure to convince someone, to impress them, to use all this complicated language to sound like a genius. But that's not what actually connects. The real goal is just to communicate, to clarify your points, to actually serve the person you're talking to, and to simplify your message so they can immediately see themselves in the solution. This is so important. When you overcomplicate your message, you're not signaling that you're an expert, you're actually signaling low authority. Think about it. Buyers don't want to decode your pitch. They're busy. They just want to know one thing. Can you solve my problem? Complexity creates friction, but simplicity creates connection. Let me tell you a quick story that just brings this all to life. I was talking with a creator recently who perfectly described this feeling. The nerves, the freezing up, just talking in circles whenever someone asked about their offer. It was this constant source of frustration for them. But then there was this turning point. They were on a call with a potential client, and instead of falling back on their usual kind of rambling script, they decided to just stop. They took a breath and decided to try a totally different approach. And here's the pivot. This is the crucial shift. Instead of listing out 10 different features and trying to explain every single detail, they focused on just one thing. They just described the single core problem that they help people solve. That's it.
And the result? It was immediate. The person on the other end of the line didn't need to be convinced. They didn't need a performance. They just needed to hear their own problem articulated clearly. That one simple, grounded sentence built instant trust because it made them feel seen.
So what allowed that transformation to happen? It wasn't a personality change. It was a structural one. It was all about developing what we call a message spine. It's the absolute foundation for any confident communication about what you do.
So what is a message spine exactly? Well, think of it as your anchor. It's that one solid, grounded sentence that gets to the absolute core of your value. It's not some fluffy tagline. It's a tool for clarity. It states the problem you solve, the outcome you create, and the specific person you do it for.
And you can start building yours like right now. It's a simple 3-part formula. First, you articulate the problem you solve. Second, you define exactly who it's for. And third, you state the outcome. How does their life get better because of you? This isn't about finding fancy words. It's about being surgically precise.
And let's be super clear on this point. Having a direct, simple message is not being pushy. It's actually the opposite. Clarity is an act of respect. You're respecting the other person's time and their intelligence. You're giving them the info they need to make a good decision without making them dig through a bunch of jargon. It's a form of service.
So here's the big takeaway. Confidence isn't something you just find. It's a byproduct of preparation and clarity. When you do the hard work to build a message spine, you are fundamentally taking your own offer seriously. And when you take it seriously, guess what? Other people will too. That's where real, unshakable confidence is born.
Building this foundation is really the first big step toward professionalizing how you communicate your value. It changes how you see your work, and more importantly, how your future clients are going to see it. So, when you're ready to go from rambling to resonant, we've got resources that can help you build that spine.